What is up, SkinClub community? Welcome back. It's the Geographically Challenged lads here once again for an exclusive video for you on the SkinClub platform. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about the Austin Major. We're going to be telling you all the things that you need to know and going through this lovely list and pretty much telling you who's going to win and who's going to lose, and we'll go down the list. And I think it's going to be a good major, guys. That's the one thing I want to start with here, is that I think all the storylines converging here in 2025 and setting us up for something that should be pretty exciting. I feel like there's more hype for me, at least, going into this major than there was going into the Shanghai major, even despite the fact that the Shanghai major was in Asia, which obviously we like. But
wow,
just storyline.
One title qualification, and you say it's going to be the best major ever. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
I can fuck with that. Yeah, most amount of Asian teams we've ever seen at a major. That being said, with the expanded format, no RMRs, we got way more teams playing. Which should make it interesting. I'm still a little bit worried. Obviously, we were recording this just a little bit before the major.
Yes.
Before Dallas is done as well. I'm just hoping everyone gets their visas, man. We're hearing this best year situation and everything. We can talk about that later on. Hopefully, everyone gets their visas, and yeah.
Yep.
That's about it.
Yep. The keener eyes among you may have realized that we've already got the legacy icon in the images there, so they're ready to go. As far as I know, that's a lock. Blast have done the announcement. Legacy are in. Bessie are out. So that would mean that to me doesn't get reverted at this point. But just for anyone that's watching this and, it's a week later or something like that and anything has potentially changed, whether it's that specific change, I don't think that will happen. But if anybody else misses out on visas, we are recording this on the 22nd of May. So, if there's any changes after that, we don't know about them just yet, but this is going to be our general thoughts. So I don't know where you guys want to start with things here. I've gone with the categories. As you can see, I think they're pretty self-explanatory. The biggest losers are basically the teams that go 0-3 in the opening stage in stage 1. Champion candidates, obviously teams that we think could potentially win. Top 8, the other teams inside of the playoffs that are maybe not a championship contender. Stage 3 teams are the teams that get knocked out in stage 3. Stage 2 teams that get knocked out in stage 2. Stage 1 teams are teams that get knocked out in stage 1. With the exception being the biggest losers who go 0-3. So I don't know where you guys want to start. I think probably best case scenario for us here is we start things off with 0-3 teams in stage 1 and go from there. And just again, in case it makes life easier for you guys or for anybody watching, the teams in the bottom here are listed in order of their stage. So from OG to FlyQuest is stage 1, from Falcons to M80 is stage 2, and then from Vitality to Mongols is stage 3 invites, and then Bestia is there. Just because Bestia is there, unfortunately, they will remain there and they will not be going on the list. They'll be staying in Bestia tier. So what do you guys think? Start at 0-3 for stage 1?
Yeah.
Legacy.
You think Legacy?
Just putting the name. Yeah.
But so look, I understand why, obviously, because they're replacing Bestia. But I was actually having a look at some of the results that they've had recently, and I didn't think that they were as bad as they might have been. I was looking at like this North American Thunderpick World Championship thing. They beat out NRG and Wildcard there. At IEM Dallas, they went relatively close with 3D Max in one of those series. And they did come third in ESL Challenger North America as well most recently.
Yeah,
so,
but also look at, the names. Apart from the one map that took off 3D Max, where, 3D Max can be a little bit shaky, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at any other team here at the stage 1, I'm like, who can really convincingly, like, which team would you bet them as really taking down, right? I can maybe look at Chinggis Warriors.
Chinggis was going to be my first pick for 0-3, I think.
Yeah,
it was
also going to be my first pick for 0-3.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, they even got the worst draw. One of the worst draws to start things off. Like, you got to start off with heroic. Like,
is that after the legacy change? Yes, it is. Yeah,
yeah.
Because this all changed up. I think
Legacy's playing Lin Vision.
Yeah,
so they're guaranteed to go 0-3 because they ain't beaten my Chinese goats.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. I think a lot of people will probably look at Chinggis as being one of the biggest possible 0-3 teams. Like when we obviously the pick'ems are not out just yet, but when the pick'ems do come out and we get all those stats about who's picking what and this and that, I think Chinggis will probably be the most picked 0-3 just because they're an unknown.
It sucks.
They are an unknown, and Brazilians are not going to, like, South Americans are not going to pick South American players, I don't think, as a 0-3.
I know, but it's like, finally, we're going to have Don Hachi or whoever the fuck pick an Asian team, and they're actually going to go 0-3 this time around.
Yeah. Well, this
Yeah,
will be
it kinda
this
sucks.
might be the first time that I pick an Asia team 0-3 because I haven't done it in a long time. But I don't think there's much of an argument for Chinggis Warriors at the moment. I think they play very inconsistent style. They're really really good sometimes. They're really really bad sometimes. So maybe you get through a best of one. That is an opportunity, I suppose.
Yeah,
but
they have to get the majority of the work done in the best of ones. Like honestly, this team. I mean, the thing is they have some cracked individual players, and they have some really, really good talent. That's the thing that they have going for them. And the players, they do know how to like read the map and take initiative and be able to make plays. It feels kind of like an organized pug sometimes when I'm watching Chinggis Warriors, to be honest. And to be fair, a lot of that is online, but I don't know. I don't think they have the mid-rounding to be consistent enough to go deep in a tournament like this and to beat like more structured kind of opponents in a best of 3. But 100%, like they are that ultimate team that, like, to be fair, they're playing heroic first, like I said, which is going to make things very difficult for them. But I see Chinggis Warriors as that team where like there's going to be people who roll into this tournament that are like, who the fuck is Controls? And he's just running it down, like peak fucking Asia, like re-peaking every angle, like running straight down middle every round. And that can really catch you off guard if they're feeling themselves.
Okay, so we've got our 2 biggest losers. Just out of interest, if you had to choose a third one here as like the third opportunity or option for anyone that may be looking at this and again wondering, what do I put in my pick'ems? Is it Fluxo or do you reckon Imperial? Because I think both of them are a chance.
Yeah, they're kind of equal, but I'd yeah, that's a really hard one. I'd go to Fluxo only because Imperial have Try, and I think Try is fucking cracked.
That's true.
Yeah, I'll just go with Fluxo, but it's
Try
a toss of the coin.
Yeah. Look, no, I'm pretty happy with our 0 and 2s here, but now I think it gets a little bit harder. I don't know how to do that. I think the best way to do this is to choose the next 6 teams, which we would cut off at the legs, basically, and then the rest of those teams are now part of the stage 2 hard start conversation, because that obviously means they would have qualified to stage 2. So what if we just throw Imperial and Fluxo into stage 1 hard start? Because if we're assuming they're the next best for a biggest loser, that means they are likely not making it 3-1, 3-0, 3-2, if that makes sense.
I got some Brazilian haters going on.
We got some Brazilian. Listen, I've forever been, and not actually a hater of Brazil, but just in terms of Counter-Strike, I've always put them as one of my weaker in my like
does
opening
a Brazilian
stages.
even watch this podcast? Like, does it even matter? Probably
Maybe. No, I'm sure. I think actually SkinClub has quite a few, because there's like some Brazilian influencers that do content on this channel as well. So we might actually get a few. So apologies to the guys from Brazil.
Go watch the Brazilian influencer. They'll have all the Asian teams 0-3. And
Yeah,
they'll have all the Brazilian teams.
Exactly. You're looking in the wrong. You're reading in the wrong newspaper if this is the information that you want. Okay, so teams that are not going to make it out of stage 1. Basically, we're looking for 4 more teams to not make it out of stage 1, and it's from OG to FlyQuest. So what do you guys think?
I'm gonna throw in Namigo.
Yeah.
I'll give explanations later on. I'm going to throw in Namiga.
Sure. Yeah, let's do that.
And I'm going to do OG.
OG, okay.
Yeah, that is a spicy take, I know it. And wait, we need 2 more teams, right?
2 more, yep. 2 more.
NRG.
NRG, really? You think? Okay.
Let him cook. Let him cook. Let him cook.
Okay, wait. And this is the call between Metasport and BetBoom. I'm gonna. I like to believe
you got BetBoom going in. Look at that.
Yeah. I would go with Metasport. Yeah.
Okay, so basically what you're saying, Bleh, is Heroic, BetBoom, Bait, Complexity, Wildcard, Linvision, Tyloo, and FlyQuest are your teams to make it out into the next stage.
Yes.
We got a lot of Asia faith. We're backing both Linvision and Tyloo to outplace NRG. Yeah, I could see it happening.
Tyloo for sure.
I'm on board for Tyloo, and I'm kind of low-key on board for FlyQuest as well, but I don't know about Linvision personally.
I agree. Linvision's the the Asia bias kicking in, but I can see them. Wait, what's our opening game against?
Linvision actually is Legacy. So that honestly, that best of one could really kind of define whether Legacy is going to go a bit further or Linvision.
Yeah, sure, but Linvision's not terrible. The thing is, I think on a good day they could take down any of these teams, man. Maybe not NRG or OG if they're having like a good day or whatever. But dude, I think they have this. I'd actually go with Lin. Remember, this is like best of ones. It's a group stage. Like everyone's going to be nervous. You're talking about teams like OG and Metasport who really haven't been able to deliver on LAN and all of that. I think they have the firepower, at least.
I'm
Zachary
just really
Starry.
I'm just really not sure. So I think that the correct thing for us to do as ambassadors of the region is to say Linvision is the best and
Sure.
put them through.
We don't have to be logical here,
I mean,
guys. We don't have to be
okay.
logical here.
If you want a bit of a logical take, obviously we're pretty high on Tyloo at the moment. We have a lot of faith or confidence in Tyloo being able to do something. Linvision played Tyloo very close in the ACL final, even though it was 2-0. That was on LAN, but
that doesn't mean shit though in a tournament like this.
You don't think so?
I don't think it does because they play each other all the time. Like a tournament like this is a completely different kettle of fish. You got to play in so many other different styles.
It was a high stakes LAN final. Is my point.
I know, but I don't think
close.
that a domestic matchup between two teams who play each other every fucking tournament tells you anything about like how good a team is in international field.
Has
Linvision
even played internationally with this new lineup? I don't think they have with Kormisu.
They did.
Did they go to Pro League with Kormisu?
EPL, yes.
Yeah, and what did they go? They went.
It's pretty bad.
They went second last, beating out only House Bets and Mind Freak.
How long ago was that though?
That was
like very early on in the lineup, wasn't it?
A couple of months back. Yeah.
So just I guess for context, the teams that barely outplaced Linvision, well, they were equal with NRG. So there's a conversation there. They only just missed out. Like in terms of outplacing Heroic and Namiga. So if we've got we've got Namiga here outplacing Linvision at EPL, but we've got them getting knocked out in stage 1 in favor of Linvision. So we think Linvision have performed or improved more than Namiga have since EPL, for example, is the argument here. So
oh shit.
Maybe I don't know, is that a yes or a no?
My dog is not happy with that. My dog is not happy. She's a big Namiga fan.
Why does your dog hate Chinese Counter-Strike?
Let me ask her.
Just gonna leave that one there, Bleh. Just gonna leave that.
What do you think about this? She says pick Linvision.
Okay, pick Linvision. All right.
Is it logical? Maybe not. Is it fun? Yes. Like,
I don't know, man. It kind of seems like cap to put the team that won the European qualifier, which is OG, as a team that
I just have no faith in
Metasport came second, like essentially in the second qualification spot. So basically what you're saying is so OG, who went 3-0 in Europe, and then Metasport and Namiga, who also went 3-1 in EU, are not as good as Linvision, or not as good of an option as Linvision, Tyloo, FlyQuest, even Wildcard, man? Like,
I'm not saying they're not.
Are we putting Wildcard in over that?
Wait, Wildcard over these guys?
I rate Wildcard.
Actually, I would rate Wildcard, dude. I like what they've done. I just feel like they're never going to crack the, top 15 or whatever, but or like
they every time they go to a tournament, like that's the thing. They're the kind of team that will perform in a field like this. I feel like because they always go to these international tournaments as like the NA representative, and they got to play these international teams, and they always do better than people expect them to.
And a solid dude like Jaba, Susp, Sonic, pretty solid. Fozzy, a little shaky for me, but as a team, you can't deny what they did in Shanghai, right? And
no, I don't hate them, but it's just like I'm trying to
play recently. I won't lie. What did they play recently? Blast Rivals. Yeah, that was rough for them. They really struggle over there.
BGO Cluj Poker as well. They got rolled.
But it's
then again, so did FlyQuest
off again. Yeah, it's a team to play against, and I feel like this is kind of like if you think about this stage of the event, it's nothing but it's more like an MRQ. It's not an MRQ, more like an RMR.
It's like a minor. It's like a minor. It's literally
it's like an open minor, right? For all the regions. I'd rate Wildcard, man. I can see this happen.
Okay. Look, I mean, fair enough. I've just kind of like reordered these in their rank as well. I don't know if you agree with that. Like if we assume left as being the strongest team and right being the weakest team, so we're saying basically Chingus is weaker than Legacy. That's my take. I don't know if you guys agree. Fluxo over to OG up in terms of power level or strength. Let's just do it that way. And again, for people that are looking on and trying to just choose something to bet on or to throw in as a pick'em, this maybe helps you in some way, shape, or form. Let's talk stage 2 picks. Teams that are going to go into stage 2, but further. So we've got Heroic all the way to M80 to play with here, and we need to choose 8 teams that get stuck in this stage here. So I think there's a few
mean,
fairly obvious, like to
This
me,
is
like
where
Pain goes
we
straight
start
in.
losing some Asia teams for sure.
Yeah, Pain goes in there. I think Limvision definitely goes in there. I don't see FlyQuest making it out of stage 2 either. VP's in a bit of a weird spot. Furia's not looking fantastic. MIBR's not looking fantastic.
3D Max.
You think 3D Max?
I don't have faith in 3D Max right now.
Bet Boom. Bait.
Who?
Bet Boom.
Yeah, Bet Boom. Wild card.
We've got 6. We need 2 more. Wildcard. MIBR? Can't really see very well.
Do we have that much faith in M80? Maybe we got to take out Bait or Bet Boom.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Wait, we got to pick till where again?
Till we've got 8 teams.
Till M80, right?
You can pick up to M80, yeah.
M80 is good, dude. I think M80 is a really good team. I mean, for, all things considered, it's just that they failed
They're Americans. Ugh.
Basically, what we're asking is, who are the top 16 teams at the major? Anyone that's top 16 remains in the bottom pool.
FaZe, okay, you FaZe, Simple look good. Rain is going to be coming in.
I think FaZe are okay in this stage. I think FaZe are okay.
Sure. Falcons for sure.
Falcons
Complexity
definitely
have looked phenomenal recently. Heroic, I think, are a shoe in. Tyloo, for me, it's between VP, Tyloo, and M80.
No, but we've actually got 8 teams up here already. By the way, I don't know if you guys can see very well because MIBR is like kind of dark.
Bro, I can't even see MIBR at all.
Yeah, they're next to Wildcard.
Bro,
yeah,
I can't see them at all.
I cannot see that.
Pretend there's a MIBR there next to Wildcard.
You have to probably edit that in post maybe because
you can see it. You can see it. It's just like it's kind of dark.
All right.
Yeah. It was a bad logo. I should have chosen a better one.
The thing with Pain and MIBR are like on paper they should be way better, right? I'm looking at Pain. I'm looking at the DGT. So Pain played in Astana, and they had DGT come in as a they had to have a stand-in, right? So Rick's the coach was standing in for like a couple of the games, and when he came in last moment, obviously wouldn't really have time to prep and all of that, et cetera, et cetera.
They had Bigu in Astana, right?
Yes, they did.
So because they played Melbourne without Big Azera, and I think they had DGT in Melbourne.
It's just been a shitty stand-in situation.
Yeah, they've been going through a rough period, that's for sure. But like, I don't know if that necessarily changes in the next month, or not even. It's like the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I want to believe in Pain, but
you want to believe in Pain? I don't know. I know they were playing with the standard, but
okay. What if we do this? What if we go? Who's
take out VP? Put Pain.
Take out VP.
Put VP
and bring Pain back in here.
Pain. Yeah, this is a spicy take. This is a spicy one.
No, right? So what I want you guys to tell me here, out of the teams that we've got in our 8, is which of these teams is the weakest? Which is like we're guaranteed not getting them out of stage 2, I should say. Is it like Limvision is the weakest?
Lin. Yeah.
And then like FlyQuest maybe.
Yeah, FlyQuest.
Wildcard, MIBR. Then these 4 like VP, 3D, BetBoom, and Bait. I could kind of like low key see doing something still. So
I would actually put Bait just a step above BetBoom, a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah.
So is there? So I guess the question we have ourselves now that we've done that, and if we agree that VP is the strongest team, which like I'm not a huge fan of VP. I think that's been obvious based on what I've said in the past, but I still think they're strong enough to make it out of this stage. But the question we have here is, I think they're the strongest of these teams that we have here. Sorry, is what I'm kind of saying.
They're
the strongest of these 8 in this list. The question I have is there any team here on the bottom side that we think is technically worse than Limvision? Like, would we, what I mean?
No, not at all.
I think so.
Okay.
No.
So then our final 16 is this.
I might have MIBR higher than that though.
Like MIBR over BetBoom or something.
Yeah. Oh man, MIBR has been shit.
I think they've been a bit up and down. Yeah, you've probably got the rose tinted glasses from seeing them at ESL Challenger Melbourne that one time, Pilski.
And the reasoning being for me,
Astana though,
dude, sure, but you got to remember, like okay, they beat G2 stand-in situation, right? They got fucking owned by Mongols. They lost to Furia with brand new team. They beat Pain again, stand-in situation. Them beating VP was the only legit win for me personally. But then again, I think it's more about how bad VP are. The problem with MIBR, I feel, is their leadership is lacking. Exit is just not a good IGL, in my opinion. Because you have Lukauzi, you have Insani, and you have Safe. That's a pretty solid fucking core. And on top of that, you have Beta Enezan or Breno, however you want to call him. He has been kind of like the consistent player for this team, which is crazy if you think about it, right? Like, it shouldn't be him. It should be Insani. And Lukauzi is supposed to be second star. And bro, Lukauzi's numbers ever since he joined this team, like 5 months ago, has been fucking abysmal. So either he's a bit of a tier 3, local South American CS farmer, or he's a fraud, or the coaching / IGLing situation completely fucked this team.
That dude, have you seen that dude's like setup placement as well? That shit is unreal. He's playing on like a 90-degree angle.
Bro, I just it hurt me, dude. Just looking at it, I'm like, what the fuck is this, right?
I feel like every time I've seen him play like that, he's kind of been fragging though. So like, I want to bag him out like on the cast every time. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? But he kind of frags.
Okay, actually, I'm going to make one change here, and it's going to be FlyQuest is going above Wildcard. That's what I'm going to say.
You believe FlyQuest over? I can see that. I can see that.
I just think I'm just looking at the names, and I'm thinking like on an individual basis, Regali's going to fucking hard carry as usual because he's a goat. I'm convinced, and Nedic's had enough time with the roster now. He should be integrated nicely. Vexite's in pretty good form. Liaz is in pretty good form. Yes, Ins is struggling a little bit form-wise, but I think you've got enough here for FlyQuest at least to get over the line against a wild card. In my power ranking, let's just say that.
Why are you hating on Amaranth's Counter-Strike team, guys?
I'm not. I just find Papa Smithy a much more alluring individual than Amaranth. That's all it is.
I would definitely pay for some illicit content of Papa Smithy. I have not subbed to Amaranth, so
Papa Smithy seems like seems like a G, but I'd still go with Amaranth. But not maybe the CS team. Anyway,
Stage 3.
I think I'm happy with this.
Are you happy, Pilski? If you're happy, we can move on.
I am happy, but I also don't know enough to be super happy. I think you guys have got your finger on the pulse a lot more than I do. Although the pain one seems like a bit of a question mark to me because holy fuck, those guys looked horseshit at Melbourne.
But
and I know they were playing with stand-ins. But
I'm not going to lie, actually.
I remember casting that game and they got absolutely fucking fisted. And then they were just laughing because they were playing with a stand-in. They literally got like 32 or something on trade and they were like smiling and laughing, fist bumping after they got absolutely rolled.
No, I now that you mention it, I actually do think I want to push a little bit back on this. Like, I don't personally think Pain is better than VP 3D Max. Like, if I'm going to take one of those three teams...
I would put 3D Max over into the VP.
So 3D Max here...
No, I mean, like, fine. I'm okay with like getting Pain back, but it has to be 3D Max going into the VP. I just don't have any faith in VP.
I'm happy with that as well. I can put 3D Max
fine.
up. You think
that's fine?
Good?
Yeah, I'm good with this.
I think I'm happy with that. I'm happier with that.
I think 3D Max can potentially pop off. They're a little shaky, but yeah.
So we need another 8 teams for stage 3 hardstuck teams that are not going to make it out of stage 3.
Tyloo, 3D Max.
To be honest, they probably won't even make stage 3, but I can hope. By giving them.
I like how none of us really debated Tyloo at all. We just assume they're going to go through, and that's
we're being generous by even putting them in stage 3, Bleh.
Yeah, they're definitely not. They're definitely not making it out of stage 3.
They're not making it out of stage 3. All right.
I do think they could make it out of stage 2. Like let's not forget. There's a lot of teams in this major, right? And so like, there's a lot of teams here that are not that good. In a way, in the sense that, like, in previous years, if you would look at it and go, "Oh, Tyloo, we're going to make stage 3 of the major," that's much more of an impressive result than it is this time around. You have to kind of keep that in mind. And I think looking at the teams below them, like, these are all not easily, but these are all definitely very beatable teams for Tyloo. Like, if I put Tyloo versus any of those teams below them in the list,
you can beat any of them.
I think they could beat any of those teams. Yes, I do.
And also, it's not about them beating them on a good day. It's like average day for Tyloo versus average day for these guys. Tyloo should beat most of them. Yep.
VP lost to fucking Rare Atom on LAN. Okay, so that is your barometer for all of these teams below that point.
I don't know.
I don't know what to say.
I think Tyloo are in for some trouble, boys. They're versing NRG, first best of one of the initial stage. And they used to lose to JKS, and Bro is like DNA copy of JKS. So that could go very poorly.
All right.
Good,
Okay.
good.
All right. Let's look at
It's only a best of one, though, don't worry.
complexity. Yeah, I think this is they've looked good, but I haven't seen them play recently.
Okay.
They've looked good. No, wait.
G2's?
Halzuk's not playing. Halzuk's not playing for complexity.
That's true.
Oh,
Wait, who did they get to replace him? Is it Junior?
Junior,
or
is
something?
it? I think it's Junior.
Junior.
Yeah.
This changes things a
That
little
does
bit.
It does actually change quite a bit. Although, does it? Like, because they still have...
It does.
They still have...
Bro,
a pretty
Halzuk
nice
is the
rifling
second
core.
best player. The second best player of the team.
I know, but like... yeah. Okay, so what? You want to think about putting them back into stage 2?
They have had a lot of prep time though. Like they haven't played since Melbourne.
I think they can get out of stage 1. I think they're going to remain in stage 2.
So the question here is then...
You move
VP
them down.
for complexity, basically.
Yeah, yeah, that's the only option that makes sense to me. Yeah.
Fuck! Blair really didn't want to put VP through to stage.
Bro, I hate watching VP. It's like it reminds me of my toxic childhood. It's like Electrons are yelling at them, and it's like
it's not.
I'm seeing I'm seeing Flamus just look, just shell-shocked. You saw how happy he was in his old team. Like he was like so happy and jumping around and Game of Legion, and now it just looks like mommy and daddy are yelling, and they're yelling only at him, and they're beating him as well before he goes to sleep. Like.
It's not
just
a fun
him,
team.
it's everyone.
I don't like watching them play either. I hate it.
And watching them play, dude, is so miserable. It's like James style of CS sometimes, but even without, we always used to be blown away when they used to do those like 15 seconds remaining, push, and they had just the right protocol, the right timing to get in. Right now, it's like Electronics trying the same thing, except he doesn't have a fucking watch. So, it's like 4 seconds remaining, entering the fucking site. I'm like, bro, you don't even have time to get into the site. Like, what are we watching?
Yep.
Anyway, I'm done with VP.
I think VP's like your version of my Rare Atom. I've seen enough from Rare Atom. I just don't
the thing in Rare Atom is I watch them as like a meme team, a fun team, right? I'm looking at Kaze, somebody somewhere. I'm like, there goes my hero. VP is more like, fucking stop my eyes up.
You're just a hate watcher. Hate watch is getting very popular as a.
The thing is, I don't mind hate watching, except when you're hate watching VP. It takes me 5 hours to get through a best of 3 series. So it's like, all right,
true.
Furia. Hard spot.
Furia for me, I agree.
Yeah. Gotta
Heroic.
be Furia.
This is what I think. G2 maybe.
G2, yes, obviously.
And
Navi or Liquid, or Aurora,
or FaZe,
or FaZe.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a hard one.
Yeah, like there's a few options here.
I think FaZe make it to playoffs. I
FaZe
think
Magic.
there's something about FaZe with Rain coming in when nothing's working, and it's motherfucking Sasha. Simple.
It's true.
I don't know his last name.
I want to believe.
In the team, yeah.
Maybe Liquid out. I don't know.
You want a hot take?
I wonder if your hot take's going to be the same as my hot take.
Navi.
I was going to say Aurora.
I think Navi don't make it.
So Pilski wants Liquid. I want Aurora. Bleh wants Navi. What's your second worst? What's your second choice?
I'd be willing to fold on Navi as well.
I think Aurora would be my second choice, but I'd go with Navi.
I would see. I would think Navi is probably my second choice. So I think Liquid's saved by default there. So
I think Liquid make it. Yeah.
So then
Navi, just because firstly, it's a spicy take. Let's not lie here, right? But also, like they have, it looks like this might be the final run for this team, right? They're coming in to win the major, by the way. And I think the pressure's mounting, and I just feel like it's just not clicking. They looked. Did they play in Astana? Yeah, they're in Astana. They look miserable, bro. Like, it's like so rough to watch them. Yeah, I mean,
Aurora hasn't
Liquid in Melbourne.
played
They're not even
anything
making like
since
top
Bucharest.
fours these last couple of minutes.
Yep.
Wait. I need to bring up the Astana page as well, so I can just have a quick look at those results too.
I really feel. Well, let me take a look at it. I really feel.
They actually haven't. I'm so surprised they have not made top 4 of the last 4 events in a row.
Okay, Aurora's top 3 at a start. Wait, what am I reading here? Yeah, okay.
Astana didn't have some big names. You got to remember that.
Yeah, it's true. But like, I mean, okay, if we're looking at Aurora and they're third, and then you've still got Mongols Navi here in Like, I think we probably do have to then put Na'Vi. Obviously, we have the Mongols bias and Copium and Hopium.
Also,
So,
Navi,
I'm gonna put Na'Vi.
Navi did beat Aurora in the group stage in Astana, but it was super close to fair. It was like 13-11, 13-10 or some shit like that. It was like super close. Look, logically, I would go with Aurora because just group stage merchants, they kind of choke, but they do make it to playoffs. You can't deny that. They make it every motherfucking playoffs. And I feel that trend's going to continue here.
Let's do the same exercise that we did for stage 2 then, and order these teams left to right. Na'Vi being the strongest at the moment, Tyloo being the weakest. It's Na'Vi G2. I don't know if you can see the G2 logo there.
I think I put G2 way down, baby. Way
down? Like how far down?
No. Okay, like middle.
Middle? Above M80, below VP?
Tyloo, you pussy.
I'd put Furia. I put Furia above G2 right now.
Furia above G2, but below VP? Surely VP.
No, above VP as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I could even see Furia over Heroic.
Wait, we're feeling good about Furia?
Just on a vibe.
I'm feeling very good about Furia.
I'm not feeling. It's just that I'm not feeling like. No. Sorry, it's more. What I was gonna say is about Heroic. It's like I'm not feeling like I necessarily like want to guarantee Heroic's going to go through and have a great event, sort of thing. Like
I think Heroic a little bit lower on the spectrum, if you ask.
So you think Heroic? I'd probably put 3D Max here next to Heroic somewhere as well.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I'm feeling. Like that's in my head where it. I don't know. Maybe G2's like. I feel like G2's kind of like a phase in a way. Like they're just a bit of a wild card at this point in time. We don't really know what to make of them just yet.
Bro, like this team's dead. Like
I mean,
it's a dead team walking right now, right? So I don't really rate them to make it deep here. I'm happy with this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Fury is going to be happy just to make it, top 16 right now with the state they're in.
All right, so we have our final 8 plus Bestia.
Bro, also as just an aside, right? I mean, obviously, by the time this comes out, maybe they'll have the, we'll know for a fact if it's going to be Legacy who are locked in. But it just kind of sucks for Bestia, right?
They are. They've already made the announcement, bro. Like, I'm pretty sure it's...
But it's like, there are rules, and there is using a common sense and having a bit of empathy as well. And
Letter of the law versus spirit of the law.
Absolutely. And the spirit, I think, is just being crushed here, right? Because you can wait till Monday. Just wait till Monday. Just over the weekend, and if Bestia get their visas, they're in, and if they don't, anyway, the players from Legacy are ready to fly in, right? They can just fly in as well. So it's a kind of a win-win. Maybe not a win for Legacy, right? Obviously, they've been invited; they're going to be taken away. But in the spirit of competition, I really feel lost, and Valve should do that. So yeah, shout out Bestia. Feel bad for them. Feel bad for Argentinian brothers and sisters. Yeah, but yeah, moving on.
What it is. All right. I think the best way to do this is probably choose the champion candidates first, because Falcons, those seem like the easier ones.
And Vitality. I go with Falcons, bro.
Ooh.
I think Falcons look...
So this is like the 2 teams in the grand final?
Well, honestly, no. I mean, yes, but also in my head, this was more so because you can't necessarily say, oh, there's going to be these 2 teams in the final. It's like, who could we, in our head right now, see winning the final? And I could probably... even still say, I think a peaking Spirit could be a champion candidate. I know they haven't looked fantastic lately. They've been a little bit up and down, but like, let's just say planets are like, if now we're into the top 8 for all of these teams in the top 8 that we're like saying we'll make it to the top 8, we'll assume the planets align and they play as good as they're basically going to be able to play. Who can win from that position? Vitality definitely, Falcons definitely, Spirit. I think you can make an argument if everything is working for them, they could win as well. So I think they can go in.
I think the reason why I wouldn't put Spirit and the reason I wouldn't put Vital and Falcons only would be, yeah, sure, Spirit are a contender, right? They just won Stan as well in the absence of Vitality, Mouse, and Falcons. I just feel like for Spirit, it is, as you said, the caveat of everything clicking on the day. Magic's having a life game. Zontic's being unstoppable. Shuro just being Monacy-esque, right? All of this, along with Dong playing at the level he usually does. And I feel that's enough for them to definitely make it a top 4. but I feel they go up against Vitality, against the Falcons who are looking sharp. They don't make it. And I feel that is the problem with Spirit. I'd put Mouse over Spirit, actually, right now, honestly.
So Spirit's going to go down here. Mouse is going to go here and go then above Spirit.
I'd do that, yeah.
And I also don't think that that's an unreasonable take either. My thing is like...
These are the best 4 teams in the world.
These are easily. There's no question about that. And I think that's a very easy split to make. But it's just which ones of them can actually potentially win? Is it Vitality and Falcons only? Or is there still a world where like you could make an argument that Mouse...
Depending on the matchups and everything.
What if Vitality gets knocked out in a quarterfinal or something, right? Let's say, and then the final is like Spirit versus Falcons or Mouse versus Falcons. You know what I mean?
I think Falcons still better than Spirit, but I think Falcons is.
Mouse just beat Falcons today, by the way, in Dallas.
I know exactly.
That was only for like a quarters.
That was it wasn't
semis. The knockout games, Falcons beat them head to head.
Who's getting a phone call?
Like both of the last few events. Me.
It's on mine.
Sorry.
I can hear it.
Yeah.
Answer the phone, man. Like, what the hell?
I think. Look, we can only pick 2, right? Champions. Like, if you put in like 4, it gets very weird. I'm okay with this. Sure. I just feel like Nico, despite for Tessa's, the entire Tessa's leaving for KOCK conversation, all of that stuff, right? I just feel Nico and Monacy like 2 just
X Factor.
Literally preternatural talents on that one team. Mouse are more about this very cohesive unit with Roland calling and everything, which is being actually surprisingly very good.
We've almost got I feel like we've got Vitality and Budget Vitality and Falcons and Budget Falcons. And it's kind of weird to say that Spirit is almost like Budget Falcons in a way. But
I know.
It's kind of like... exactly. But it's kind of like, you pick your poison almost in a way. Do you know what I mean? Like you've got the 2 playstyle differences where Vitality is like very like, we're going to 100% this, and Mouse is somewhat a little bit more similar to that. And then Falcons and Falcons and Spirit, I should say. But
Donk Trap.
Slip of the tongue, we'll call it that one.
I think I'm okay with this. I think this is fair.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine.
Yep.
Also, have you ever thought about the Spirit logo and the way the neck's drawn? Doesn't it always look like a weird Pac-Man dragon with a tongue sticking out?
It does. Yeah. I've actually I kind of thought that maybe that's what it was anyway. You know what I mean?
That's what I thought for a long time until I realized, no, that's just a neck with a scaling. I'm like, guys, you gotta color that in. You gotta color that in. I just can't unsee it. It's like a
I think
demon
if
Pac-Man.
they took out the neck, it would look better.
Or just color it in, right? The white gap in the neck, the scale thing, just made pure black. I think it would look sick.
The thing is, I don't even look at the logos that much, to be honest. Sometimes, sometimes when I go to an event, and not necessarily so much in CS, but there's some other games more so, especially Battle Royales are fucking cooked, bro, because there's going to be 32 or 64 teams at the event. And you're how am I supposed to know all of these logos?
It's like they gave the logos to this one designer who's got... Have you noticed this in in PUBG Mobile, or even if you go to BGMI or Battlegrounds Mobile in India, all the logos seem to come from the same one designer. It's it's almost like AI generated, but it's not AI because this came out years ago before all the chat GPT thing took over, but it's kind of lame. But that being said, I'd rather not look at logos if I had to look at fucking 3D Max or Mouse's new logo. So,
no,
that's there.
I actually don't mind the Mouse logo personally, but bro, I'm not a fan of
it's like fucking fascist Mickey Mouse, bro.
But it's kind of cool. I don't know. It looks like a mouse.
Call me old.
How many other mouse logos have you got, man?
The old one?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I do like the old one too. Anyways, so FaZe, Aurora, Liquid, Mongols. And also, we can do this in order, what we think.
I'd put Mongols below Spirit.
So, Mongols here, Aurora... FaZe going there,
FaZe above Liquid.
You think FaZe above Liquid?
I think so.
Okay. Not a Liquid fan?
I'm a FaZe apologist.
Okay.
Actually, I don't care. It'll be 7, 8, whatever. I can put Liquid above FaZe. Fair enough.
The thing is, I just don't think you can know. I think these two teams are just such a dice roll.
We just haven't seen this FaZe lineup play.
Yeah. Nor have we really seen the Liquid play. Liquid played at Dallas and at Melbourne, and I think that was it, isn't it?
They played Dallas, right? Wait. weren't they in Dallas? They're in Dallas.
They're in Dallas. Oh, they are. Yeah, they
beat
got
knocked out by Aurora. They lost Aurora.
They beat FaZe.
And they lost that phase with Skulls, who played. I won't lie, played very nervous, and they lost Aurora.
All right, whatever. I think it's as much of emotions really at that point.
I'm okay with this. I'm very happy with this.
But then I'm looking at that and I'm like, is putting Liquid over Na'Vi kind of troll?
I feel like I almost want to move FaZe up more. Is that crazy?
What?
Is it
Over
major?
whom? I know, but over
you
Aurora?
You reckon Aurora and Mongols are going to do well once we go deeper to the playoffs? It's like a semi-game. It's like a quarter game against FaZe.
Basically, what you're asking here. Okay, so
I
these
see what you mean.
Vitality, Falcons, Mouse, Spirit. I mean, technically,
even Liquid to some extent. Is that crazy? Like, I feel like even Liquid in a quarters game is
they
like
have more.
You're not guaranteed. They
Mongols
got
beat
some,
Liquid
They got
Melbourne.
swag. They got Riz.
Was close.
You know.
Okay.
I think I want to put FaZe above
I'm
at
gonna
least
go.
Aurora.
I'm gonna go
And
with
maybe even Mongols.
Pilski.
That's
I can go. I can go to Pilski.
This guy,
here.
you can tell this guy's fucking watching more Valorant than Counter-Strike at this point.
I'm gonna put FaZe and Liquid. I'm gonna put FaZe of Mongols and Aurora.
No.
Yes.
You're not.
Yes. And you know why? And you know why? I mean, listen. I love Asian Counter-Strike. I love the Mongols, right? But if I'm going to love Asian Counter-Strike, I am going to be the Asian dad. I'm going to be the Asian uncle, right? And the thing was, in the Mongols, I didn't question them making the top 8 at all. Not a fucking shadow of a doubt.
Okay.
But what have they done in playoffs? Let me tell you, I made a tweet. If they didn't fuck up PGL Bucharest, which they did, if they didn't fuck up in Blast Lisbon, which they did in the group stage, they would have made, hear this, right? 11 playoffs in a row. 11. That's insane. And they've won 4 games, of which
they're all shit games.
Exactly. We're against Heroic and 3D Max and Thunderpick, which wasn't a real arena. It was literally like a homeland for them because all the Mongolians over there in Berlin. Well done, first big event win money wise. Great job. Then they beat Eternal Fire, who choked harder than like anyone I've ever seen in Kato in the quarterfinals. Right? So sure, it's a win, but I'm not going to count that. The only legitimate win they've had thus far is when they beat Liquid in Melbourne, reverse sweep with 9-10 having a fucking unplayable, inferno right there, right? So apart from that, sure, everyone's like, they lost to Vitality 3 times. Yeah, they also lost to Falcons. They also lost to fucking shit G2, right? They also lost to Astralis in Cluj. You can't forget that. So I will have to drop Mongols a little bit here. I think it's a toss-up between Aurora and Mongols because Aurora did beat them in Astana.
Yeah,
that's a 50-50. But I would put FaZe above them because I feel like FaZe are a team when it comes to arena, when they have simple playing, and if they make it to the playoffs, they're a team that can really take down someone like Mongols.
That's my like idea with FaZe as well. I think they have more chance of getting knocked out in stage 3 or some shit than they do it not making like a semi or something. Or like choking a quarter once they make it to this stage.
Yeah, no, I mean, can see it. I can see the argument for sure, but kind of
that's what Yako keeps saying, right? Because when he was coaching FaZe as well, he is like, my objective as a coach was to just get them out of the groups. After that, I'm hands off. Like I know what they're going to do. And we've seen this. We saw what they did in Shanghai. Does it make any sense? No, it doesn't. Is it FaZe bullshit? Is it big stage FaZe bullshit? Yes, it is. So you can't discount that. I know it sounds like we're memeing, but it's one of those intangibles about what Carrigan brings to this team, right? And I've seen FaZe with lesser do more at bigger playoffs in the past 1 year than I've seen the Mongols do, or Aurora for that matter. So yeah, good call from Pilski. I can see that.
All right, so I guess I'm pretty happy with it. The only questions here are like Liquid Na'Vi. And then, so I think what we have to think about before we just finish off the video is, do any of these teams move up or down in any way, shape, or form? Because we've ordered the teams strongest to weakest, left to right. So basically, is complexity over Tyloo a possibility in our minds? Is LinVision, is OG over LinVision a possibility? Is Na'Vi over Liquid a possibility? Like, are those,
I think,
any of those you want to swap? I was about
to say again, complexity should go up, and then I remember they're playing without Hulzerk, so that's why we did that.
I mean, I could even see the thing is, Hallsberg has so much. Grim has really stepped up, and in the absence of Elish, and he's been looking like the star player by far, right?
Yes, definitely.
And wait, who else is there in the team? Why am I forgetting the other name?
Nick X.
60 has been pretty
JT.
fucking solid. He's so solid as well, right? Nick's maybe not so much. 60 has been pretty solid, but Hallsberg has been that secondary.
He's the Monacy to the Nico.
Exactly. And despite Nico having changed in his team, he's been the Monacy. And him going away for Junior, who I don't know who was playing for recently, bro, but he hasn't really been on my radar for a while. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he's gone for a while for sure.
Yeah, and him coming in, I could even see a world if I had to make a change here of complexity. Not making out a stage 1, as crazy as that sounds, and me bumping up someone like an OG or a Metasport over them.
I could see it. 100% I could be on board. Like, I still kind of think OG and Metasport getting knocked out in stage 1 is a bit hard to swallow, but like then again,
I can change that.
There's a lot of moving and shaking that could be done with those teams. Like, stage 1 to me almost feels like probably the most difficult to call. Is that a fair statement?
I think
it
you
is.
could definitely see Linvision or Cole go down potentially.
Bro, I can see.
And then like OG or Metasport go up.
So Linvision's got to move. So Complexity's surely got to move like at least down to like here maybe.
Yeah.
If that's what we're thinking. And is Pain strongest out of this group? Surely not.
I think you're capping with Pain.
Yeah.
I think Pain is capped.
I think Bade and BB are. Again,
I even think FlyQuest beats Pain.
Bro, I'm keeping.
Yeah, 50-50. Bro, how many Brazilian FlyQuest fucking games have we watched? I feel like it doesn't even matter how good the Brazilian team that's playing FlyQuest is anymore. Like, they'll just fucking
bro, FlyQuest would get reamed by fucking Furia right now. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but have you seen Regali play the video game lately? Because, like...
yeah, he's a good player. Yeah, cool. Have you seen Yakinder entry lately? Because, bro, it's a crazy...
Oh, I'm not talking about the Furia. Okay, Furia, fine, sure. But, like...
Also,
Pain?
by the way... maybe... Also, by the way, Linvision, let's all agree, we're keeping them for the vibes, right?
I feel like we're keeping both Linvision and Tyloo for the vibes.
I genuinely think Tyloo could do that. Like, I
think Tyloo can make. I agree with. I mean, it's a toss of the coin. They are the bottom of stage 3, right? But I feel Tyloo can make it. Linvision, I could totally see them making it out of stage 1. I'm just vibing. I'm just fucking vibing here. But yeah, let's stick with this.
I have more faith in Tyloo making stage 3 than Linvision making stage 2. That's my take.
I think that's kind of obvious, bro. Like, duh.
But then we've got fucking Linvision in stage 2, bro. What are you saying? That's kind of obvious.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's all memes. So we're memeing with Linvision. We got a little meme with Linvision. But the thing is, I feel a little bad because I feel like I think OG could pull off something miraculous here.
Yeah,
the first major back in a long time.
Getting out of stage 1 is not miraculous, but like I think they could definitely do that. Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like putting OG and Metasport and even Namiga as getting knocked out in stage 1 is kind of hard, but we have to put someone there, So
here's my final take, right? If I was doing this ranking on any other podcast, I would put OG above Linvision.
Me too.
But since it's geographically challenged, we gotta support our challenge bros. But we 3 are, we're the powers. We're like true. Captain Planet, except like Captain Challenged. So with our powers combined,
yes, we are Captain Challenged.
We have to keep this point. Linvision there. I'm happy with this. I'm not gonna move it.
I mean, their first game's against Legacy, so if they lose that, then I'm happy to retroactively tell everybody that I'm a fucking idiot.
Yep.
And move on with my life.
Sweet. All right. I think that's it. I think that's our list.
Yeah.
Would love to hear everyone's opinions in the comments because I'm sure there's quite a few haters. I don't know. Let us know. I think there's a lot of discussion that could be had around something like this because there's so many teams. There's always going to be so many different opinions based on lived experiences. But our lived experiences are in Asia, and so hopefully that will be enough to get Tyloo up into stage 3. But yeah,
I don't even really care. I just want to see Chinggis Warriors play a team that knows how to play Counter-Strike, and I want to watch their brains break.
Yep.
Like playing against that team, like just having a bunch of Mongolians running it down at them. Like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
I would just say that if Chinggis Warriors if they play against some of the EU teams here, like Namiga or Metasport, and they watch Coolast run through a smoke with an AWP when scores like 12-11 and get 2 no-scope kills and then go in for the third one with a knife, that would break them. Because I saw this shit. And like when you asked me, like I was at the Mesa event, right? Nomadic Spring. Of all the things I saw, and I saw a lot of wild stuff over there in Olympus. Great city, great event. A lot of wild stuff. A great event, especially we'll have an episode about that. Especially walking around the streets with Dinko and Henry G. You get to see a lot of crazy shit. But I haven't seen anything as crazy as cool as play Counter-Strike on LAN. It's like I was dying, and I was commentating as well. So I'm just literally staring, mouth agape, and Dinko's like, "You can't play." I'm like, "No, I'm getting PTSD." It's like somebody on fucking steroids, and that's saying something.
All right,
guys, cracked.
On that note, this is the definitive Blast TV Awesome Major tier list by Geographically Challenged, and this has been made for SkinClub. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to let us know what you think in the comments as well, of course. So we'll be interested in having a chat. And if you want to find us elsewhere, you can find us by looking up Geographically Challenged on YouTube. So we'll see you in the next one. Peace.